Hello, welcome back to the channel, and this is a channel where we give you reviews, playthroughs, unboxings. We generally like to talk a load of bollocks about tabletop gaming in general, and in this video we're going to be talking about a moderately light Euro game. We're going to be talking about Santa Maria, and in this game you will be placing tiles, you'll be going up a few tracks, trying to build up your colony better than your opponents, in the hope that you can get a load of happiness that will allow you to win the game. So in this video, we're going to be giving you a very brief overview of the rules to tell you what we do like, what we don't like. Then we'll come back and we'll tell you whether or not Santa Maria is still worth your time and bother 7 years after it was first released in 2017. So remember, if you're new here, please consider subscribing to this channel. Hit the like button and all that YouTube bullshit. See you after this. So Santa Maria is a relatively light Euro game that involves a little bit of tile placement, resource gathering, and going up a few different tracks, right? Each player is going to get a player board, and you'll see that there are a number of pre-printed buildings on the board, right? There's also going to be a main board with some tracks on it. You've got the Conquistador track, you've got the religious track, you've got the missionary stations, scholars, and the bishops, and then you've got some spaces where you can retire, which I would like to do right now. So each player starts the game with a number of coins. Depending on turn order, the first player will get less coins than the last player, right? You'll also roll a load of white dice and you'll stick them in the relative spots underneath the board, and you'll also get one blue die to start, and there are other ways of getting extra blue dice, and you'll roll it and you'll stick it on the slot on your left hand side of your player board corresponding to the number that you rolled, right? You'll also get a bunch of monk tokens that you'll stick next to your board, and you'll dump a load of tiles next to the board on the right hand side. We could do it on the left hand side if you wanted to, but I'll put them on the right. All right, so on your turn you will get to take one of the following actions. You can expand your colony, you can activate a single building in your colony, you can activate a row or a column, or you can retire, which is basically an elaborate way of saying pass. So if you want to expand your colony, you will choose one of the tiles on the right hand side of the board. You'll see that there are rectangular tiles and there's also L-shaped tiles as well. The L-shaped tiles will cost you 2 wood and a wheat, and the rectangular tiles will just cost you 2 wood. Pay the resources, you put it on your player board. You can't put it on anything that's pre-printed, and you can't overlap any other tiles that you put on a board, right? These tiles will give you different bonuses, which we will go into when we talk about the next action, sort of now. You can activate a single building. This will cost you 1 coin for the first building that you're going to activate, and 2 coins for the second, 3 for the third, and so on and so forth, right? When you activate a building, you'll stick a coin on it and you'll do what it says. So if you see any of the resources like wood, gems, sugar, it's not a baggy of speed, mate, you know what I mean? Happiness or coins and all that sort of stuff, you'll take the respective number of those resources. If you see trade, then you'll be able to swap one resource for another. If you activate shipping, then you'll look at the tiles that are on the left hand side of the main board. You'll pay the resources to grab one. You'll see that these tiles will give you a number of happiness at the end of the game. You'll stick it on the right hand side of your player board, face down, and then this will be activated when you retire. Well, we'll get to that, you impatient bastards. If you see the Conquistador icon, you'll move up 1 space on the Conquistador track. If you go over any gold, you'll pick up a gold token, and these will act as wild resources. You must also be aware that at the end of each round, the player that is highest up on the Conquistador track will get the number of victory points that is listed below it, right? And then you'll reset it at the end of the round. If you activate the religion action, you'll move up 1 space on the religious track. You might get some extra blue dice when you go past the threshold, or you might be able to get hold of a monk. If you get a monk, you'll stick one of your monk tokens on either the missionary stations. These will give you extra resources, or you just stick it on the scholars tiles. These are permanent abilities that are effective until the end of the game. Or you put it on one of the bishop tiles, in which case this will give you an end of game scoring opportunity. If you want to place your monk on a space where somebody else is, you've got to give them 2 coins. And if you utilize the bishop, then you'll have to pay him 2 happiness, right? Don't know what's going on there. So the next action that you could take is you can activate a row or a column. You'll have 2 options here. If you want to activate a row, you'll take one of the white dice that you rolled at the beginning of the round and you'll place it on one of the corresponding rows. And this will allow you to activate all of the buildings from top to bottom. The only thing that you've got to worry about here is that the last action you take, the lowest action you take, you have to stick the die on it. This means you can't take it again that round, yeah? You can also do this with the rows, but you'll have to use the blue dice. Obviously, you get these from going up the religious track, whereas the white dice have to go back. You're going to get your blue die back, yeah? And that is quite a nice touch, isn't it? So the last thing you can do is retire. You move your marker from the marketplace to one of the retiree icons. You'll take that action, and then you will activate all of the shipping tiles that you place face down. These will give you bonuses on the category that you took the shipping tiles from. So if you've got 2 shipping tiles in the Conquistador section, you'll be able to move up 2 spaces on the Conquistador track. There's also a number of free actions. You can pay 3 resources to gain a basic resource, but you can't buy exotic resources like gems and shit. And you can sell some stuff and all that sort of crap. You'll keep doing this for 3 rounds. And at the end of the 3rd round, you'll do a little bit of final scoring. You'll flog all your resources, and then you'll get 1 point for each 3 coins that you got rounded down. So you've got colonists on your board that are standing on roads. If you've completed a whole row or a whole column, then you'll get 1 point for each colonist that you've got on these roads, yeah? You obviously get points for your monks and all that sort of stuff, won't you? Because I've already told you about that. You'll gain 3 points for each complete set of harbours going down. So in order to get this, you need to get 1 shipping tile from each of the categories. And then you flip over all your shipping tiles, you get the amount of happiness that is on the tiles. And then the player with the most points will be the winner of Santa Maria. So what do we like? That's Santa Maria. So the first thing that we really like about this game is its simple yet hugely satisfying nature, right? When I looked in the box, first of all, there was nothing in there. It's just a couple of sheets of cardboard and some tokens and all that. And I thought, this game looks like complete and utter dog shit, right? But nothing could have been further from the truth. I actually had a really nice time playing this. It's one of them games that doesn't get you stressed out. Even my 7-year-old daughter had no problem picking this up. And while she didn't really understand some of the strategies, she just had a nice time moving up the tracks, placing some tiles onto a little colony thing. And she ended up beating me by about 25 points, so it can't be that bad, right? So yeah, in a world that is filled to the brim with these ultra-violent, miniature-infested hunks of elephant shite in a box, Santa Maria is a more than welcome relief package. So the second thing that we really like about Santa Maria is that there's always something that you need to do, but you can't do it when you want to, right? You're going to have to wait until later on in the game when you've expanded your mini empire in order to do all the things that you want to do. And the joy of this game is getting from having fuck all to basically controlling the whole fucking world. Like, you might need wood. You can't get wood, so you can't buy the tile that you want. So you're going to have to circumnavigate the whole proposition of getting wood and do something else that's going to enable you to get wood that will then allow you to build the tile that allows you to move up the religious track that will allow you to get the monk, blah, blah. You see how this game works, yeah? It tempts you into moving through one door, but you end up finding that door's locked. You're going to have to find another way around, yeah? And it does this without stressing out your mind. Your heart rate will stay at a constant 48 beats per minute, yeah? And if it doesn't, maybe you need to take some fucking exercise. So the final thing that we really like about Santa Maria, and this is the main thing that we really enjoy about this game, and I've touched on this already, is that the game starts off by giving you a bare bones palette, just enough buildings to get you going, and then it leaves the rest of it up to you, right? Apart from the die rolls at the beginning of each round, there's little to no randomization in this game. So if you fuck this game up, it's down to you, right? Even if you are playing against a 7-year-old, yeah? So the way this game starts off really, really small and then expands into a game that lets you take maybe like 5 or 6 actions on your turn is absolutely fantastic, right? So what don't we like about Santa Maria? So the first thing that we don't like about Santa Maria is that the iconography on the bishops and scholar tiles is pretty much illegible, and obviously you get a little cheat sheet, yeah, but it's still a pain in the ass trying to remember what all of these do, and the icons on the tiles don't really translate that well into what you're actually doing. Some of them do, but a lot of them don't, right? And I know there's probably some of you at the back yet again saying, well, I can remember them all. I'm a member of fucking Mensa, yeah? Well, firstly, people that have got a high IQ are only really good at sitting IQ tests, and B, I'm thick as shit. So I just don't have the brain capacity to remember all these little fucking fiddly icons, yeah? So other than that, it's a simple game. It's just a few niggling little things where you've got to remember exactly what all the icons do, yeah? So the second thing that we don't like about this, well, not me, I don't really bother me in the slightest, yeah, but it might bother you, and that is the theme. I mean, they're not even trying to fucking hide anything. It's got a fucking cartoon conquistador slap bang in the middle of the fucking box cover, yeah? It seems like they don't give a fuck about what certain people care about these days, and this was only 2017, yeah. So it's just sort of amazes me how far we've come, or maybe how far things have been pushed in one direction, where this game now looks like a fucking pariah, yeah. I mean, you think about the debacle with the Puerto Rico reimagining, where they took the original game, which in my opinion, there was really much wrong with it. There's a few little things that might have been a little bit problematic, but they ended up fucking the game up, yeah? They screwed the fucking game into the ground and they produced a piece of fucking shite. So yeah, if you don't like games where you're going to be colonising islands and shit, then this game definitely isn't going to be for you. So you're probably better off buying a very, very big pillow and some tissues and crying into it, yeah? Because this game is going to be your fucking enemy. So the final thing we don't like about Santa Maria, and this ties in directly to our last point, is that it's never going to be reprinted, yeah? And that is largely because of the theme. I just can't see any publisher picking this game up in its current form and offering it to the board gaming community these days, and that is a real shame, because this game is a real gem, and I don't often say that. Usually I'm not that surprised by games, yeah, but Santa Maria is one of those games where you think it's going to be fucking awful and it ends up being probably one of the best games you've played for a very long time, yeah? And it's just a tragedy that this fucking thing is never going to be reprinted, or that certain people, they look at the box cover and they're just not going to play it because of the theme, and that sucks, yeah? Because if a game is good, then I'll play it, and I don't give a flying fuck about the theme, and I don't give a flying fuck about people who tell me that I can't play games because of the theme. So to summarise, is Santa Maria worth your time and bother today and in the future? So we are going to say yes, Santa Maria is a genuine surprise for us. We heard about this game when it was first released and we didn't think anything of it. We just thought it was going to be another bog standard sort of Feldian style Euro with a cartoony theme. And I admit, I was completely and utterly wrong. It's a quiet, stress-free game with plenty of options and a great need to but can't feel to it, yeah? It does suffer from some annoying iconography, and the theme is actually quite hilarious given the outpouring of grief with regards to similar subject matter. But if you could manage to convince yourself that you're not actually building a real colony and just pushing bits of cardboard around on another piece of cardboard, then this might just be the game that you want to play today. So there you go, that is Santa Maria. Remember, if you are new here, then please consider subscribing to this channel, hit the like button and all that YouTube bullshit. We'll see you next time.